let's start from the beginning. So in this application, we are going to create a CRUD application using Spring Boot and Spring Boot MVC, and which application will be integrated in the front end with the Angular, so that all of you can get a complete flavor of front end to back end, entire end-to-end flavor you can get, and it will be helpful for all of you who are already proposed or nominated for Spring Boot application. In PCS Global, now major projects will be happen in Spring Boot technology with Angular as a front end for new projects. For old projects, some projects also will be maintained by normal JSP server project, so that all of you can get experience to end-to-end knowledge, and your expertise will be much more efficient day by day. So let's start. And whenever we are going to create, if you create a steps, should I some resources are new, and should I create a Spring Boot application? Okay, so that you want to know the steps very quick. Should I create it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
For new resource only. Just what are the, I am creating in a minute in a Spring Boot application. So what are the steps? Steps is very simple. New. You go to new. Create Spring Starter project. Just who are new, and you can, for your machine, you can use a Java 8. For this new machine, I have installed Java 11. Okay, so it is not a matter, any version you can, 8 or 11 you can choose. So pom dot, you can write example your base package. It should contain a base package. Com dot training dot Spring Boot. Here you can write here com dot training. It should be base package. It should be application name. Give a name, like you can give EMP info system. Just I've given the name, project name. So you notice that it is an artifact name, EMP info system, description, and here you can give the same name, com training dot Spring Boot. Spring Boot. This is the steps actually. It is a input is required. Next, go to next, and when you are going to create a Spring Boot MVC project, so what are the dependency you should add? The first dependency is you should add, and here in our project also it will be connected with the database also. So for that, for these are the dependencies we should add. First dependency is Spring Web. Spring Web. You select it. Spring Web. So, oh, sorry. I need to add much more dependency. 1 minute. Okay, for demo. Next, again, I am creating this project. Go to file, new, Spring Starter project, and employee import system. Okay, next. Okay, first is the Spring Web. This is one dependency. Next dependency we should add MySQL, because we are going to connect the MySQL driver. So you write here MySQL driver. You should connect it. MySQL driver. Another dependency we are adding here, Spring DevTools. Oh, what happened? Anyways, that is not required. Actually, another dependency is DevTools. Okay, when a project will come, this project already developed. So in this project, go to the pom.xml. First, go to the pom.xml. You will notice for any Spring Boot project, first dependency will be the org.spring framework.boot, Spring Boot startup web. And since we have added MySQL, it has been taken dependency MySQL connector Java, and normal our JDBC application, we have to give the jar file, but here we have to add the dependency. It will be download from the net connector Java file. Spring Boot, okay, starter test. These are the 3 dependency is sufficient. Okay.
Hello,
Next,
sir.
yes, tell me.
Sir, I think Java that version is not required. We can from build path. I think we can change our Java version, sir.
Yes, you can change the version also. We can change version also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, what will happen? It will take the all supporting jars accordingly.
Yes, sir.
But this laptop where I am giving demo, it has been installed Java 11, and that is the reason so this is the base class. It will be clear. So now, if you start this project, right click, or you can click here, run. Okay. All of you have noticed that there is a Tomcat is there. There is an inbuilt Tomcat is there. Where is the Tomcat? Tomcat, go to the mapping dependency. You will notice that there is a Tomcat embedded here. Tomcat embedded here, and Tomcat is running now 8080 port. So we can try out here whether it can happen or not. We can create a controller. Next, create a package. Next, com dot training dot Spring Boot okay. You can create a new class employee info controller. In controller, we are creating a suppose a first public string suppose home. Println okay, you need to write here request mapping first @ request mapping okay. Next, you need to add @ controller. Okay, I hope these steps are clear to all of you. Last day we have covered, but it is for
Sir, why for request mapping annotation?
why request mapping annotation.
Sir, why we have written, sir?
Okay, your name?
Sir, Sritam, sir.
Sritam, you are completely new, I think. Okay, request mapping actually. Okay, just you are completely new, I think. So don't worry, it will be, I'll make you clear later. Request mapping, actually, it is a this is a annotation in normal. When we create the, it is a request, is get or post, and here actually in annotation we need to default, you need to give the request mapping. Okay, and there is a multiple option. There is request mapping, get mapping, put mapping, delete mapping. Okay, so every mapping, these are the HTTP methods actually. These are the HTTP methods. Okay, I'll show you in there is other tool and how many methods are there. Right? Okay, just wait. Okay, and another next you need to create a index.jsp. Index.jsp, while you create, go to source, main, and here you create a package, a folder, web app. In web app, you can create a page, other, go to JSP file, index, okay. Next, if you there is another dependency you need to add. Okay, it may not work. Okay, generally it will not work, but we need to add another dependency. Stop it again. Let's check. You will notice localhost. Okay, you will notice that this is not getting the page, and actually there is another dependency we need to add. Can anybody remember what is the dependency we need to add here? Who have attended earlier session? Can anybody remember what is the other dependency here?
Tomcat Jasper.
Yes, who told you? Can you tell your name?
Nilesh.
Okay, so good. MVN repository. This is the site. We'll get the all jar files. Tomcat Jasper. Tomcat Jasper. Search and go to here. And our version is at 9.0.46. But till sometimes it's a creating problem I have seen yesterday. But okay, already another application which is ready. I'll work on it. But just for the steps, repeat. Okay. You need to add it form.xml. Okay, so I have added in prom.xml and we have created the web app in JS pages. Just for example, you can check. Okay, next stop. Okay, it is moving to static page, but it is a this kind of problem is type phase also. Okay, it is not moving to JSP page. One minute. Okay, let move to our existing ready application. Okay, this is the problem I face actually. Sometimes editor, it may be problem with the editor. Let's work with this application. Here already everything is done. Run. Okay. Okay, this is the next. Okay, so now we will learn the entire full stack all CRUD application. In CRUD application, but we are going to access this application as an API. We are going to access the application as API, and for that purpose, we are going to use a tool. We are going to use a tool as a Postman tool. We are going to use a tool as a Postman. But before that, okay, suppose there is a functionalities. First, it is the same application is written by CRUD application, and let me open the database. One minute. Okay, go to. First, all of you learn what we will do here and what are the steps is happening here. আমি তো একটা সেশনে আছি একটু হয়ে গেলে কথা বলছি হ্যাঁ okay so first we will create a database here and even this table will be created by Hibernate tool and table will be created by Hibernate tool. Today for your learning I am giving a demo of the ready application. Next step I will try to do the all application by from scratch development. Today first day you experience with the application is running, and next day again step by steps I will do. First is we are creating the database table, and then here we are using the Hibernate. In Hibernate there is a facilities it can create during runtime, it can create the table. So what are the steps? Next we are going to set the properties file. This is the next step is here. Application properties. In application properties, just all of you, okay, notice here we have set some properties file. For normal database connection JDBC we have to write a lots of code, but here we need to set the properties, and these are the ready properties. We have set the properties spring.datasource.url JDBC MySQL localhost 3306 employee management system. This is the DB name, and then we have used the spring.datasource.username root spring.datasource.password, and then since we are using Hibernate, and we need to use the Hibernate dialect as a in properties file. Here spring.jpa.properties Hibernate dialect, and this is the standard. You have to copy paste, and you or you can have to download in the net. These are the dialect. This is the standard for Hibernate dialect. Okay, this is the, and update means it will be automatically, it will create the table source. Every time you will do changes, it will be impacting the tables. So it will direct mapping with the your entity with the database table. Okay, is it clear to all of you? All of you are following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is the first steps. We are going to set up the backend. The steps on, step one, we have to create a database name. Database name we need to create. Next, we are going to set up the application properties. And application property, which things we will set? First, the database URL, that is the URL of the database. Second, username. Third, password. Then Hibernate dialect. These are the things need to set up in properties file of Spring Boot application. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Step 2, we are creating a object. We are creating an object. An object name is com.training.springboot.model. This is an object. Okay. In this object, what are the steps? Just you listen here, and then you will be, all of you will be do practice by yourself. But I know you will be stuck in somewhere. Then next day we'll do the in front of you and every steps. And that is the reason today I want to give the ready demo. And next day we have to do by scratch, and all of you try. And I expect you will face problem and you can start again. You will be come back. And if you are able to do, that's very good. The first things we are creating a employee object. Forget about the annotation. First, forget about the annotation. Think about employee, and field is long. It is ID field, and ID, actually this is the ID field. ID, actually it will be serial number here, and it is ID. Then employee ID, then first name, then last name, and email ID. Only these are the fields actually we have created, and we have created a normal setter and getter. The step 2 here, the step 1 is you have to declare the private variables. It is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Next, what should we do? We will create a constructor. We will create a constructor with the parameters. How we can do? You can note down the steps also. Right click source. There is a generate constructor using fields. Generate constructor using fields. You should do this constructor. Generate constructor using fields. So if you click here, it will generate like this, and actually select all, but you remove it. Only remove it. Because why? Because it is a primary key and it is already there. So others field, you will create a constructor, others fields. Okay, except ID, and click generate. Already it is generated, then this section will be generated. Next step is you should create a default constructor, because otherwise that object will not created. Default constructor, default public employee, and this just a default constructor will be there. So these are the steps. Next, up to this it is a Java. Now we are making as a entity. Then what should we write? The annotation, and is annotation we should write it is an entity. It is a @entity annotation. @entity annotation, and all annotations are dependent. This is a entity is a javax.persistence.entity javax.persistence package. Just you write it and enter. Write it and enter. And many cases, since you are a new learner, you do it first. Okay, gradually, when you are becoming expert, more concept will be clear, more visualization will be clear. Write the table name. What should be the table name? Here we are defining. Hibernate will create the table in your database. So what will be the table name? We are mentioning the table name. Whatever we will write here, it will be create the table according to that name. Next, we are generating one table as a one attribute as a primary key. So which will be the primary key? Give the @ID. Next, you generated value strategy generation type identity. There are multiple type, and you at the beginning you are not required to too much, but here is the options. There is on is auto, and its explanation is here. On is the identity. Identity indicates that the persistence provider must assign primary key for the entity using a database identity column. Okay, indicates that persistence provider must assign primary key for the entity using a database entity identity column. So we are @ID means we are setting this is as a primary key. Next column, this is when we write the Java syntax, our Java startup pattern is we should write startup any variable. Startup character is a small, but if it is a 2-word, second character will be capital. That is a standard for Java coding convention. But database is a database actually as a standard, you should write all small character. If it is a 2-word, write underscore. That is a standard for database. So that is the reason we are writing. This is the field name, but this will be the table column name. EMP underscore ID, first underscore name, last underscore name, email ID, email underscore ID. Okay, this is the way you will create the all columns. These will be your column names, which table will be created. These will be column names. Then the moment you will be start the Spring Boot application, then and then Hibernate will automatically create this employee table in the backend with these fields. And you will notice a table has been created, but there is no value. This value I have added later, but there is no value, but table will be created with the columns. Up to this clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, this is after these steps, and we are going to create. Okay. Next steps. Okay, all of you please note down what is the next steps in Spring Boot. And in Spring Boot makes your easier your 90% coding you are not required to done. Okay, which you have to do the Java coding or application here. It will be not required. Everything has been written inside. So if we create an employee, as an our identity entity, we are going to create a employee repository. Entity, then repository. Please note down the naming convention. Employee.java. Here we are creating employee repository.java. Employee repository.java. And here we are creating this repository public interface. How we are going to create? Right click, go to new interface. Go to new interface, just give the employee repository name. Then do some changes, extends JPA repository. JPA repository, and there is a again I do JPA repository, and it will come to T and ID. T for object entity. T is entity here, employee, and ID is a primary key. ID is a primary key. So our primary key, what is our primary key? Our primary key is an ID. ID is a primary key. So right here, ID is here you need to write the data type. Here you need to write the data type. Need to write the data type. One minute, ID. Okay. You are not required to nothing more. And if you just for learning, I'm clicking here JPA repository. What is JPA repository? It is inbuilt. Okay. Expand it. In JPA repository, actually it has multiple methods which we are not required to write the coding. Earlier, normal JDBC, normal application without Spring Boot, we have to write this coding by developers. Find all, it will be fetch all value from the DB, all value from the DB. Find all with sorting, find all by ID, find all by ID, save all, save method. There is a multiple functions are already written for you. Just you need to utilize it. As a developers, you are not required to write coding. All supportive methods are written here. This JPA repository extends paging and sorting repository. And this paging and sorting, actually, if it is a paging and sorting required, then this function, it is extended by JPA repository. Paging and sorting repository extends CRUD repository. This is the CRUD repository. This is the base, and CRUD repository, it contains many methods. Save method, save all, find by ID. Many methods are here. These are the inbuilt methods are here. Okay, so majority normal CRUD application, everything is already written. You are not required to write any coding. And next, repository. This is the root. It started with the, then base is the repository. Repository is extended by paging and sorting repository. Paging and sorting repository extended by JPA repository. And JPA repository extended by employee info, okay, your repository. That is the employee repository. So it is clear to all of you, and you got some idea from where we are writing repository. Actually, here many inbuilt code is there, and it will work for you. Base is the repository. It is extended by paging and sorting repository. Then it has been extended by JPA repository, and JPA repository extended by your interface. Is it clear? You got some idea? Please respond sometime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. So this is the step after this step. So we create the model, we create the repository. Next, we are going to, okay, for the timing, I have not used it. Okay, but many cases we can use the inbuilt exception, and actually facing some problem. That is the reason I have not used it. Actually, if we face any exception handling, to exception in exception handling and logging, these are the two most critical part. Every developer and every project use exception handling and logging. And in Spring Boot, logging, how logging is applied, that is another name. You may be here, aspect oriented programming, AOP. Definitely I'll train you how to use logging framework in Spring Boot. That is known as aspect oriented programming, AOP. That is one of the big features of Spring Boot, and it is popular. Spring Boot is popular for that. For the timing, now our final things is controller. We are writing the controller. This is our controller. We can close everything else. Okay, controller. And first we are fetching the value, all employees value from DB. So what we are doing here in employee controller, here we are writing employee repository, and here it is the auto wiring is happening. What is auto wire? It is creating the object of the employee repository in the background. You are not creating object by yourself. Who is creating object here? Spring container creating object for you. And that is the, we are writing here AutoWire @AutoWire annotation. And next we are writing here employee repository dot find all. If we write it, employee repository find all, why it is written? It is a JPA repository find all method. It will fetch all values of that entity, all values of that entity. Here is the entity is, what is the entity? Entity is the employee entity. So its return type will be the list value, list object, list entity type, list employee. So now we can test whether it is working in the browser or not. Here we have added another two annotation. One is the REST controller. Okay, it is a, when we will fetch the value from the in Angular, we will use, earlier we have used the only @controller, or for Spring MVC we used only controller. For actually to access as API, we will use the REST controller, because we are using REST API. You can notice in the roadmap, I have one time I told that you need to learn the REST API, REST Jersey framework, that is the REST API, and Spring use always REST API. So REST controller we are using, then we are giving the request mapping. We can, it is a user specific, you can give any name. I have added here API/v1. Now we can try whether it is running from browser. Let's start the application. Stop. and start application, and actually this is run it again. Run from browser, we can check what is happening. Slash, notice here we are giving the path, employee contact. First, this is a slash API v1. Then we're calling get mapping slash employees right here. Just notice what you are able to, what is happening in browser, and are you able to view some data in browser?
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir, EMP ID equal to EMP ID 101. So it is JSON format.
This is a data is coming in JSON format. REST API, actually REST output of the REST is a JSON format data. Data is coming in JSON. Is it clear? So our Angular will consume this data to display in the page. Okay, so you can, for experiment, we can add another row. We can add another row directly from backend. Write it. Suppose it is 5. It is a Abhishek. We have added another row in database. Now we can refresh in browser also. Let's refresh whether it is coming here.
Yes, sir.
Data is coming here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Data is coming here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So this, is there any things you are not able to understand here? Is it only for only this function up to this?
No, sir. Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I could not understand this one coding. Sir. Can you repeat
Which
again?
coding?
Sir, this public class employee controller.
Okay, so you have to take some time. Okay, do not worry. If you do not understand, it is done from your head. Okay, then till it
Yes,
is
sir.
okay. Just be familiar with the, okay, what is happening. It will
Mhm.
take some time. Okay, 120 hours.
Yes, sir.
Okay, to store in your memory.
Okay.
It is clear to all of you. Next, we can check, we will use another tool. We will use another tool. That tool name is, it is very popular tool. Tool name is Postman. And Postman is used by developers actually massively to test the whether it is a proper response is coming or not. The Postman tool is very popular. HTTP requests, and here actually someone asking, sir, what is this method? Request mapping, get mapping, these are the methods. Actually, when you will access from API calling, and there is all methods are here. These are the HTTP methods. These are HTTP methods, but what few methods we should familiar, like the get method. When you are getting the data, get mapping, you will write the get. Next is a post. If you want to store data, put data. Okay, that is a post. Put mapping, you want to store the data. If you want to store the data, insert data, then we'll use the put. Next, for delete, there is a edit option is there. Put, delete is there. View is there, view mapping. Okay, one is the delete mapping. Delete method is there. Put mapping for update. Put mapping for update, and get post for insert. Okay, these are the methods. Next, we can view that data using Postman tool. We can view the data using Postman tool. Let's check get. Now you can use URL, and gradually, if you want to work with Angular and Spring Boot, you have to be familiar with the Postman tool. So you can write the same URL which you have written in browser. You can write here and send. Just check. Data is coming here. Data is coming here in Postman tool.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So data is which format? It is a
JSON.
JSON format. It is a JSON format. Data is coming in JSON format. So at least one round is clear. Okay, how we are getting the data from backend database to up to frontend, up to API calling. Is it clear to all of you? Majority of you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I'm
Next,
not clear, sir. Sir, I'm not clear.
for you need some special attention. Okay, don't worry. I will take a special attention for you.
Yes, sir.
Even if it require one-to-one session with you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Next task is we need to store data. I want to store data, and here you will be surprised that you are not writing much coding. Okay, everything happening in the inside, and actually you are not. There is no such coding for save data. For save data, even using normal JDBC, I have to write that at least 15-line coding to save data. Okay, save an object, because I have to create the database connection. There is a 5 steps. I have to database connection, statement, SQL queries, and then I have to write the execute update method, and then actually it will be stored, and then I have to return value, integer value, and all steps I need to do. But here, what we are going for stored data, stored, we will send the input from JSON. JSON data will input and create employees. Here we are writing the create employees, but here we are writing the annotation post mapping / employees. Here, employees object, and we are sending the entire JSON body. Okay, and why I am writing here, I'll explain in Postman. We need to write the annotation @request body. Request body, because an annotation object, employee object is coming as an input. Annotation at a JSON object is coming as input. Then we need to write the request body @request body. And here, very simple. We just need to call a save method and pass the object and pass the employee object and right click in the save method. Click here. It is already written in the application save method. So you are not required to do any coding. Coding is doing by Spring Boot tool. And these are the reasons actually Spring Boot becomes so much popular. Developer no need to write code. So just you need to call this employee, and here a JSON object data we cannot enter from the browser. So we have to take the support from the Postman tool. So now I want to store a data from Postman tool. Okay, here you need to change get as a post mapping. You need to choose as a post, and here key you need to write. One minute. application JSON application. Application slash JSON. One minute, I need to check it. Just 1 minute. Give me minute time. I need to check it. Two. To create a new request is body set body to form data type image for key appellation name. Not application JSON value. Body section. I need to check the raw. Yes, here I need to give the input. Let's give an input here. Now I want to enter another data where ID I'm not giving here because ID will be auto generated. Is it 5, 4, 5, row B. Okay, so it's good. Here you need to add only employees. Click here. One minute. I need to change here data format. Data format body form data key value. One. Sorry. Actually, I am muted. Actually, not time notice. Okay. Hello. Last. Which portion you have heard from me? Actually, unfortunately, I have forget to. I have muted and unmute. To unmute, I forget actually. Last, which portion you have heard? Can you anybody repeat?
Postman configuration.
Postman. Okay, I am repeating it. Okay. In Postman, actually, we are sending, next task is we are sending the data to the database from Postman. So how do we need to do it? Go to post, select post.
So
select
screen
post.
is not visible.
Okay. Select post. Screen is visible now.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So post method, and then you need to select here, and it's select in raw. Okay. Notice here in body section, select body section, and click in the raw data. We are sending the raw data, and we are sending the data in the JSON format. And here you need to select in the JSON format. This JSON, select JSON. Okay. And you can change again any value. Suppose we are sending value here 106. Here Sachin. Next year you can write here. Okay. Next, this is the input data. You are feeding data, and this is the input data. Actually, it will come from input screen from browser in Angular. Now here you just add send. So data has been stored. You have noticed that it is generating ID. It is generating ID. This is the output. This is the output, and this is the input data. This is the output data. So you can check your database. Data is coming here. Data is coming to DB.
Yes, sir.
So what is happening here? Just it is calling employees. We are calling create employee. We are sending the data and send. But this is the coding, nothing else. As a developer, you have to write up to this. Okay, are you getting some confidence?
Yes, sir.
Next task in CRUD method, I need to fetch the value based upon a single ID. Okay, I want to get the value of a particular employee. So what I need to do? I need to send the value of the ID value. Okay, select start from in normal JDBC. What we do? Select start from table name where ID equal to this ID. So we based upon the ID value, we need to fetch the value. So we are writing here get mapping response entity because it return a response of object. Object is the employee. Object or entity is the employee. Get employee by ID. We are writing the input variable. Here input variable is the ID. ID is the primary key. Generally primary key. Here annotation, we need to use the annotation path variable because these will be the as a parameter variable will come and path variable. Next, we need to write this employee repository dot find by ID. You are not required to do anything. Method is already inbuilt in the Spring Boot. Just call the find by ID, and you pass the ID. It is return type is the actually optional entity. It's return optional entity object, and we need to write a get method just employee. Even you can skip this line. You can write a single line here like this. Okay, just this is okay. This single line coding is okay. Employee repository find by ID get. It will be return employee. but response actually it will come to the response entity dot okay. It's send the status code. If it is a fail, it's some status code. Okay, you will learn later. But for today, you just response entity okay. We are sending object. So now you can call this value from browser. Okay, you can call this value from browser. You can call from browser. Here you can slash. Suppose you are giving input as 2. Just notice a single value is coming. A single value. We are fetching the single data, single employee data. You can change ID. Okay, it is slash value is coming. Similarly, you can use in JSON. Here you can give the input. And you need to change. It is a here here method is the get mapping. Here get mapping. So in Postman, you need to change method is a get. This is get mapping. And here you write here, suppose 6 and send. So it is value is coming here. Change here 7. Value is coming here. So it is clear.
Yes, sir.
It is clear. So it is for to get the value, get employee ID by ID, particular employee ID. It makes so simple. You are actually, as a developer, you are not writing any code. You are writing just online coding. But normal JDBC, you need to write the 15-line coding minimum for it. Next is update. I want to update the value. That means input will be the object. I can change the value, any value. Any value means here I can change the value, first name, last name, email ID. The input, again, it is a put mapping. It is a put. It is a for update. We use the put mapping, employees ID, and with which employee I want to update. So here, update employee, one input is the ID, second input is the object, because I can change the multiple value changes in update field. And here 3 values, employee details dot give first name, last name, email ID. That means I can edit 3 values update, and employee dot first name, employee is an object, employee object dot first name, last name, email ID. So next coding is update employee repository dot save, employee repository save method. Earlier we need to write the insert queries using normal JDBC. Here you are writing the save employee repository dot save and employee as an object parameter. And again, after saving, it will be return object because update happened. So after update, that value will come. So it is returning employee and response dot entity. And here is the we are sending okay updated employee. This object we are sending updated employee and updated employee. Then we can check in the browser. Okay, we need to take the again raw data from browser. So here we need to choose method as a put. We are choosing method, changing method put. Again, go to body section and change as a JSON data. Select JSON, and here suppose this is a input. Now you want to change name. You want to change name. Sachin is changing to Rahul. Okay, I'm changing some value. Rahul. Just again you send it. So value it changes. Go to the database. Check here. Value has been updated or not? Value has been updated. Hello.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Value has been updated. So what happened here? So enter update employee using REST API. Update employee using REST API is working properly. So you are changing the JSON from Postman tool. Last functionality we need to check, that is the delete. I want to delete a particular employee ID. I want to delete. So I am passing that here in Postman REST API. This is the REST API method. Delete mapping we are using. Delete mapping we are using / employees ID as an input. And here, at the beginning levels, when you learn the first time, definitely you have to copy code and you need to learn it, and you have to copy and paste code, and gradually you'll be habituated because it is the first time you are doing. Here we are sending the value ID as a parameter, but find by ID, employee repository find by ID dot get. It will be return the employee. It will return the employee, and then employee repository dot method is delete. Employee repository dot delete. So we are deleting the entire object. So ID, through using ID, we are getting the object. We are getting the employee identity, employee entity object. And employee entity object we are sending in the delete. That means entire record will be delete. Entire record will be delete. Okay. Or then after that, again we have to response in the front end. We are using mapping string boolean response, new hash map string boolean. Okay, and it will be send some message to the screen that actually it has been deleted. So boolean value, boolean true, it is a deleted message will be put in the screen. So return response entity dot okay. These are the section. Do not fear that actually how you will write. Initially, definitely you will copy paste and you will search in Google, you will get the code. Okay, and initially you can take my sample code and use it. Gradually you will be habituated. Return type is response entity map string boolean. Okay, this is the pattern because we are sending mapping object. This is the mapping object string and boolean, and you need to keep inside the angular bracket of the response entity. This is for delete. Now you can run from Postman. Here you need to choose delete mapping. Delete. This is the delete, and here you need to add the particular, suppose in 7 number employee I want to delete. So give 7, and here it is a delete. So it will not work actually. Now we send. Just notice the response is deleted true. Why this message? Because if it is a delete, if it's delete, it will display the message deleted true. This is the message, put true. Okay, string and boolean value will be displayed in the browser. So this is the Postman method. It is showing the deleted true. Go to the database. Now again you refresh the database. Click here. Notice 7th row record has been deleted. Record has been deleted. So this is the, we have completed all CRUD functionalities. Okay, all CRUD functionalities completed. So what we learn here? We have learned here. First is we get all employees. Second functionality we have returned, okay, all employees, but we have stored value. Employee record, we have add employee or create employees. Next we have done get a particular employee by employee ID. Employee by ID. Next we learn here employees by employee ID. Next we have done update method. We have update a particular employee ID and we have changes some value like first name, last name, email, update employee. Last we have done delete employees. We have removed that record, a particular employee's record. So these are the functionalities we have done. This is a create, read, update, and delete. Okay, CRUD functionalities we have done. So is it something helpful to all of you? I have noticed some resources have left because they do not able to keep the patience due to some issue has happened today at the beginning, but still it is okay. I appreciate who are already present up to last. So now I want to get back you. Are you getting some flavor and how you can do the startup application of the Spring Boot? Many of you are going to start project. This application will be helpful for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anybody
Yes,
here
extremely
present in the who have been allocated for professional tutor project? Anybody here present?
Yes, sir. I'm sir. Sir, anyone?
Okay. So next you have to do a similar application, CRUD application for tutor table, and actually similar 4 functionalities, because a tutor can store, a tutor data can edit, a tutor data can delete, and a tutor data can, particular tutor data can fetch. Only these are the 4 functionalities for a tutor.
Yes, sir.
Animan, okay, you can ask more individual question when you will free. Okay, one-to-one. Okay, I want to come to other, for others also. If anybody have any questions, please, without any hesitation, you can speak with me. You can ask me. So today we can close session here. Let's stop recording.
Sir, are we going to have Angular session after 2 hours?
Today Angular session will be have a plan in midnight actually. And actually today 3 p.m. I have a session. I will attend another session. So that is the reason